Hey everybody, it's Matthew of Mr. Domestic. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a Bargello style quilt. For my new fabric collection with Art Gallery Fabrics Catch and Release, I designed a Bargello style quilt. It's large and it's a free pattern that you can get in my lookbook. So I decided for this video to make a partner pillow. Ooh, this is Ooh La La Foxy. I'm super jazzed. I'm gonna walk you through the process of learning how to play with the Bargello technique without a pattern, but don't worry, for those of you who don't want to follow it, aren't interested in figuring it out, I'm also gonna have all of the supplies and measurements and cuts and my blog, as well as a link to the free quilt pattern. So make sure to check in the description here for a link to all that goodness. But if that's what you're here for, before we get into the content, anytime you're enjoying it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. My quilt for this tutorial, and instead of the 9-inch strips that I used on my quilt, I'm using 2-inch strips, and it's going to be a 18-inch square in the end. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different fabrics, 2 strips cut at 2 inches of each from a fat quarter, so it's 2 inches by roughly 22 inches. And then now I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine and sew in gradient order both of them, and then come back and show you the magic of creating a Bargello. Super simple. I'm legit just going to sew each of these strips together, making sure the selvages are flat. I find that the easiest place to begin sewing. Wait, oh, that's where I go. And I put my 1/4-inch foot on, as you can see, just to try and make this as precise as possible. Let me turn up the speed. And I'm just gonna sew all 12 of the strips in one grouping together at a 1/4-inch seam. So I'll fast forward it until I get to the end, which is the magic in creating a Bargello. So fast forward now. Okay, so now I've sewn all 12 together, and then the final step before cutting is now I'm going to sew the first one and the last one together, creating a tube, and then we're going to trim from the tube. Okay, just so you can see it, here's the tube. It's a tube, it's continuous. I pressed all the seams to one side just to make it easier and more precise to cut, but now, as I'm recording this, I'm going to estimate what I need to create this, just to show you that you don't need a pattern in order to do a Bargello, but I will have a pattern also for the pillow version with the exact cuts that I made, so that you know. But just looking at this pattern, see how it starts out wide, gets narrow, and then branches off to get wider? That whenever you want it to be a narrow angle going this way, you need to make the strips really short, and then you just move it as you go. This process will blow your mind once I get into it. So with the center ones, I need 4 of them. Cut from this side just to make it even. Cut off the selvage. I'm going to use this center line. I'm going to trim this off like this, right here. Now flipping it over this way. So this is going to be an 18 by 18 pillow. And this right here, I know that these cuts are 1.5 inches, the most narrow on the quilt. And this is a gigantic quilt. But the most narrow that I am going to go is 1 inch. Anything more than that is just too much. And it creates too much bulk. So I'm going to cut 4 of these for the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. like this. And then the next one, it calls for 4 at 2 inches. So I'm not going to go to 2 inches. I'm going to make it more narrow. So I will go to 1 1/4 just to make it a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next one is 5, so I'm going to go, no, I'm sorry, the next one is 3. So on these cuts, I'm going to go 1 1/2. And I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next one's here, since for the quilt it's 6 1/2 inches, I'm going to go ahead and go 2 1/2 inches here. I think that'll add enough. No, let me do 2 inches. 1, 2, and then can I get one more out of this one? Yes, that's enough. That will go in the seam allowance. So this is, I still have one more, just so you know, there's one more to make it good. But I'm going to go ahead and deconstruct this so that you can see it occur. I believe I need to bring the camera up, so I'm going to lift it up, come back, and then show you how I will construct this. Okay, so now the order isn't exactly the same, and it's just going to start roughly in one spot, but I'm going to start narrow, and let me just start it here. Right here. So it's shorter so I can just break it apart, but you would seam rip. That's where the tube comes in. You only pull apart what you need. So, okay, so here's this. This is one, and then one more. So now this one, I want this to go this way. So do it right side out. Hopefully y'all are following. There might be some aha moments. So I want this to come up, which means I'm going to start there. Right here. Boom. See? Right here. And then this one, I believe, let's just go on the other side. It's going to be the same. Right here. Like this. And I'm starting to build it. If you build it, they will come. And then this one right here. Like this. So then this one needs to be on the top, like this, right here. And so now these are the most narrow spots. And so the next one, just to bring it up, because now this is going to be, I want it to just spray out like waves right here. So now I'm going to the next size right here, going this way. So now this one's going to be on the top. Cut it. Oh, I've got a seam rip right here. Of course I do. Like this. And see, I'm just moving one way up on the tube like that. And so here's another one. There's going to be 2 on either side. So I need another one just like that. And seam rip, open the tube like this. And the impact you're really going to see, like how dramatically it goes up once I start to sew together. And this one. See, hopefully by now you're understanding it. Like this. And I'm gonna splay out the rest of them, and I'm gonna fast forward, but at a pace to where you can actually see what's going on. Okay, so now I have these laid out, and these are all from that first section. Once again, I still have this second one that I haven't even cut, but Since math was hurting my brain trying to calculate all the seam allowances, I'm going to go take this over and sew it and show you how I sew it together, and then press it and come back out and decide what I need on the sides to make it an even 18 by 18. So head with me over to Felicia. Okay, so now I have this over here and I'm sewing at a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I'm not pre-clipping because I'm going to spin the seams, and I'll go ahead and show you the easy way that I do it. But if you want a more in-depth way to spin the seams, then go watch my video and I'll card it right here. But essentially, see, I'm making one seam go this way, one seam go this way. Then when you go like this, you can just feel them whenever they click together. And I'm gonna do that to each one. And so this one came this way, so now this one I'm gonna have go that way. And then I wanna make sure that the one underneath is going the opposite direction. And I'm going to feel around until it's like they lock in place and you'll feel it. And so now this one went that way, so this one I'm gonna go the other way. And then make sure that that seam is flipped that way. Like that. And these are smaller pieces, so for the most part, it should just like fall in line. But just in case, if this is new for you, then go ahead and feel it out. Right here, so now that one went that way, so this one goes this way, and the opposite goes this way. So let me just go ahead and show you the seams. I'm not going to press them until I'm done with all of them. But let me just show you how crisp the corners are here. See? Ooh. Boom. Crispy. 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 Yeah, that's good and crispy enough. So the rest I'm going to fast forward just for a bit. Not for all of it, just so that you can see it. And see, this is the back, just how they're going, they're alternating. And this will make it easy to spin the seams once we get to that part. And I'll go ahead and show that in this video too. Okay, so now I've done this section, and this is 12 inches, so I've got to add 6 more inches. But I want to flatten this out, I'm going to iron it, and then I'm going to do the seams. And look, it's already super cute. So let me get my ironing mat, and I'm going to show you how to spin just a couple of them, because I might honestly press those to the side, but right here I can show you how to spin them. So I'm gonna show you how to spin a couple of these seams, but see how it just alternates? So now it's like they just pop, like that. You can just push them down. It's super easy, like this. This one's just gonna naturally spin. See, this one's spinning, right? This one naturally spins. See? See, like that? I'll do a couple more. So spinning, by spinning it's like, so this one is gonna go, this one goes like this. Just pops it like that. And you press it. And then this one's gonna go like that. And this one pops open like that. Ta-da! If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then go watch my spinning seams video. But if you do, and you've done it, and you follow my other one, this is so easy. It's like the lazy way to do it. But now I'm gonna go ahead and do all of this off camera, flatten it out, and then get back with you on how to decide what I'm gonna do for the side. I measured this, and this as it stands is 12 inches, roughly. So that means I need another 6 inches to make it 18 by 18. Not including seam allowance. So what I figured out is I need a 2.5 over here, a 2.5 over here, and then another 3. And then I'm good to go, and that's it. Shake the room. I am jazzed about it. So I'm gonna finish this up off. And then now I'm going to through the use of my computer, show you some variations on the Bargello that you can do now that you know the basic technique and process of creating a Bargello project. Let's pretend that this pillow version that I just made was a block. In order to create symmetry in a Bargello quilt, if that's what you're going for, then essentially you would just do the same exact thing, but instead of going the order from left to right, you would do it right to left, so it's the mirror image. And then you could do more mirror images with new sets of strips and put that on the bottom to highlight the wide angle, but then you could do the flip side and highlight the narrow angle and you get a totally different look. So this technique is yours to explore and play with, depending on whether you wanted to highlight the narrow or the wide. Hey, now you can make a Bargello style quilt. If you wanted to make my Making Waves quilt, go for it. It's fun. I like it when people use my fabric. But if not, hopefully I've given you the tips, tricks, skills, techniques for you to explore this and make a Bargello quilt all your own. So if you enjoyed this video, got a laugh or a tip or a trick, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Keep it positive, y'all. Mr. Domestic out.